Hello, everyone. I'm Dave Cummings, Communications Director with the New Hampshire Association of Realtors, and we're here today again talking about land fraud, or also known as quitclaim deed fraud or home title theft. And it's whereby unsuspecting landowners, without their knowledge, have their land sold out from under them. It's something we've been talking about for the better part of the last year, as this is obviously something that impacts both homeowners and our members, our realtor members as well. And it's actually been on the rise for several years now. So here to help us define and give us a little bit more information about this type of fraud is Special Agent Vivian Barrios from the Boston Division of the FBI. Thank you for being with us, Special Agent Barrios.
No problem at all.
So could you just start out by giving us a general idea or an idea of the total losses and how big a problem this really is?
Sure, no problem. So in New Hampshire specifically, from 2019 to 2023, there were 239 victims that we know of, right? Those are just the ones who have reported being victims of fraud, and about $4.1 million of losses because of this scheme, which is a pretty significant amount, particularly for those individuals, as those are often pretty substantial amounts of money for them personally and reflect, their life savings, money that they had invested in real estate. It's a pretty big deal to those individuals.
Right. And as you alluded to, you say those are the ones that we know of. And I would expect that there are probably a number who just don't report for embarrassment or just haven't realized it yet, I would think.
Right. Both of those reasons. That one, there are people who are embarrassed that they become victims of the fraud, that they feel like they contributed to becoming a victim, or people who don't realize their properties have been sold out from under them, and are just unknowing victims at this point.
Right. So how did these schemes work?
So basically, scammers comb the public websites to look for properties that don't have a mortgage on them, or vacant lots of land. And basically, what they do is they use fraudulent real estate documents to sell homes, mortgage properties, and rent out properties that never belonged to them.
Okay. And what are some red flags that our members should look out for when they're dealing with potential clients looking to sell vacant land?
The red flags, and it's particularly helpful in real estate with realtors, because you guys are the gateway, unfortunately, by which a lot of these bad actors reach their victims. So to look for the red flags is going to require some work on your guys' part, because it's going to be looking for people who are faking identities. It's fairly easy nowadays to produce a fake driver's license. So if you could do what we call kind of proof of life checks, where you are virtually with someone, verifying their identity, having them show documents that are tied specifically to that property, getting information from them that only a property owner would know. When did they buy it? What are some details about the property? And then conducting in-person meetings really as you can. These folks are going to come up with all kinds of excuses as to why they can't meet with you in person, because they're not really the owner of the property. So if you can conduct, the more meetings that you can conduct in person to confirm their identity, the better.
Yeah, it makes perfect sense. And what should someone do if they're victimized or they fear that the person they're dealing with is a fraudster?
The best thing they can do, one, if there has been an exchange of money that's happened, the best thing they can do is call their banks immediately, and see if those banks will put a hold on those transactions. They should file what we call an IC3 complaint. That's www.ic3, the number 3.gov. That's our online complaint mechanism. Those get reviewed every day by someone, and we respond to those, particularly if there's something that we can do to try to stop the movement of money and try to get money back to a victim. We'll look at those and try to do that as soon as possible. And then you can call the FBI or local law enforcement to let them know, especially if you feel like this is a crime that's occurring right now. It's not something that happened in the past. You think you're currently being victimized, then you can call and make a complaint via phone or in person as well.
Great, thank you. It's one of those things, just for folks to remember to be super vigilant, I think, because like other types of fraud, it's one of those things that you just don't think is going to happen to you until it does. So you're almost reluctant to believe it could be happening. It seems like that might be a barrier to stopping these folks in the first place.
Exactly.
So anything else? Anything else that our members should know?
I think it's a little bit after the fact, but you can ask your local recorder's office to give, as property owners, to give notice if there's some kind of action that occurs on your property, and to set up, people can set up alerts, not really for the realtors, but anybody who owns probably can also set up alerts online to let them know if there's things happening with their address.
Great. All great advice. Thank you so much for your time. Special Agent Vivian Barrios from the Boston office of the FBI. Appreciate your time.
Thank you so much.